Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to understand the LeetCode problem number 2615. It's a very important question because if you solve this problem using the brute force, then you can definitely get O of n square as a time complexity. Okay. So O of n square time complexity will get, and it will give you a TLE also, right? Means time limit exceed it will happen. But if I told you you can solve this problem into O of n, right, by using a simple one idea, right? So once you understand this, you will start seeing it in multiple LeetCode problems. Okay, so what is the problem in one line? So we can say that you are given an array. Let's suppose this. For every index, you have to compute the sum of all the distances, right? Let's suppose for index I equal to 0, right? Then you have to compute the sum of distance to all other indices with the same value. So index I we have is 0, 1 and 2. It means we have to find the distance. What is the distance? So let's say, if I'll say the value we have is 1 at index where? At 0. It means what are the position we have the same value? This value contains at position 0, 2 and 3. See, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if we will write in 1, 3, 1, 1 and one more is 2, right? And this is a 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the indices, correct? Let me clean it a little bit so we'll understand. Okay guys, so what I was talking about, I was saying that for index 0, right, what are the values we have here that contains the same values, right? Let's say we have same value 1, 1 and 1 at 0, at 2 and at 3. So we got how many? We got this one 0, 2 and 3. Okay, so these are the, we can say, is positions, right? For the value contains value is equal to 1, correct? So how will you calculate the distance? Let's say the distance we can calculate is 0 minus 0 plus 2 minus 0 minus 2, we can say 0 minus 2 plus 0 minus 3, correct? So we find the distance, right? So this distance we can say is 5, right? As you can see, 0, 2 and 3, 2 and 3 is 5. So now imagine doing this for every index. Yeah, that will give you O of n square. Not happening, right? So here is the first unlock. Okay, stop thinking about the index by index, right, and think about value by value. If you see here, right? So what I'm trying to say is we can not go by index by index, right? We will go by value. Let me tell you how. So this is the thing we have to think about. Let's suppose for thinking value by value, I'll say the one contains if we'll do the grouping, so the group is 0, 2 and 3. Then let me rewrite again 0, 1, 3, 1, 1 and one more is 2. Here index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so for 1 the group is 0 to 3. For 3 the group is 1 and then we have is 2. Let's say for 2 we have the group is 4, correct? This is what we have given, guys, correct? So if we'll group this, we can see like this, correct? Now let's zoom this problem into just one group. So let's say for particular for this value. Okay, so when we say 0, 2 and 3, right, we know that because we have grouped this because the value was 1, right? So now the problem becomes for each position find the distance, right? So we'll say, okay, for any index we can split the word into two parts. One is called the left part and another is the right part. Can we say that, right? So for the left we put out 0 at 0 we have put, and at right we have put 3, right? So we'll say, okay, left contains 0 value and right contains 3 value. So what is the distance now? So will distance, we already know that the distance we can get is what? 2 minus 0, 3 minus 2, and total it become how many? 2 plus 1 is nothing but 3, correct? So the big idea is we will use the prefix sum, if you remember, right? So that we will use how? Let's suppose, so we'll use prefix sum, right? Now we'll say that now here is the magic. So instead of computing each distance one by one that we are doing just right, that we have done just now, right? We will calculate them in bulk, right? So we'll say that there is two things will happen. We have converted into left and right. So we'll say that, okay, what is in the left contribution? Okay, so we can say multiply I into count, we'll take from the left, we'll start the count left, minus sum left. What is the sum left, right? Because we have divided the into left and right, right? When you divide anything in left and right, right, we can calculate because there can be multiple values will be there, right? So we can say this is our left contribution, right? And we can have the value like this. Okay, similarly we'll say, okay, what is the right contribution? So we'll say that, okay, the right contribution, we'll find that sum right, we can say sum right minus I into count right. So we have to find two things, right? The very first is left contribution and the right contribution. So left contribution we can find how? I into count left minus sum left, and right contribution we can find is sum right minus I into count right. Okay, so like this we will find that. So why will this work? Let me tell you how. So let's suppose that we have I minus, let's start with the A, B and C. Three things we have. So let's say left side is ABC. I'm talking about if we have left side, right, and it contains ABC. So how will you find this? So you know that what you need to do is I into count left minus sum left, right? So what you will need to do, we'll say, okay, I minus A plus I minus B plus I minus C. Like that we have to find. It means it will give you I into K, we can say that, minus A plus B plus C. Okay, this is the thing we will find. That's just a multiplication and the subtraction we have here, right? No loop is needed. Okay, so let's try to understand again. Let's think that we will use at indices, the first group we found that 0, 2 and 3 we found, right? And if we want to find the prefix sum, so how will you find the prefix sum? So we'll say prefix sum for this 0 is nothing but 0. For this prefix sum we'll find what? 0 plus 2 is 2 and the 2 plus 3 is 5, right? So this is the prefix sum we can find like this. We can create the prefix like this, where we'll say, okay, this is the index at 0 when we have left at what is nothing but 0. So the this will become like this. Okay, similarly we'll say, okay, this is our 0 to 5, right? This will become the resultant, right? I hope you understand. If you give me 1 second. So let me write here. Okay, so let's think that if index was 0, 2 and 5, right? What is the at left? Left is that we become 0, we find 2, and we found 4, right? What is at right? At right we can say is 5, 1, 0, correct? So what will at the result? So we'll say result become is 5, 3, and here it will come is 4, because 0 and 4 is there, right? So what will come? Result is 4 will come. Okay, I hope you understand how to find it and how to calculate it, right? Just you need to add on here. Okay, so now let's translate this into a simple steps. How will you find that? What you need to do is you can directly group the indices. Okay, the very first, group the indices. How will you do that? Just you take a map of integer and integer, you can say has map, right? And after that, what you need to do, let's call this as a map, right? Then after that you create a prefix sum per group, you can say that. Okay guys, very first you find the group indices. Group indices nothing but a map as has map. Then you will take the prefix sum per group. How will you find? You just say a prefix at I, you say. Okay, prefix at I you can create, and we'll say, okay, the prefix at I minus 1 plus get a list we can get from the list also, list dot get I. So when you say list at get I, you can find the prefix at I. Now you have to apply the formula. What is the formula you will apply, guys? As I told you, we'll find the left will become what? Left contribution is left is index into I, we can say that, minus we have say that prefix at I minus 1. This is I minus 1. Okay, similarly we'll find the R. Define this both R as a long, guys. Okay, then right contribution you have to find. It means you will say, okay, what is at prefix at last minus, remember we have done with the table, right? Prefix at I. So we'll apply prefix at last, right? Prefix at last minus prefix at I, correct? So if we will find these two things, right, and just do minus, what is the minus? You will say index I, remember, into here I will get changed, size minus I minus 1, correct? So this way you can find the left and the right contributions. Okay, very simple things you have to do. Now you will check that you have dropped the complexity, right? Because we have just converted how in O of n square to O of n, right? That's a difference between falling and passing, guys, right? So the pattern, how will you find the pattern of this problem, that this pattern is this that you will apply in the interview? Basically, if you see here, we find that we have given the same value, right? And it is talking about the distance, you can say, or difference, you can say, or mismatch, you can say, right? So, and we have to find the sum of absolute. If you see here, sum of absolute it is saying, right? See here, sum of absolute, right? So think immediately, this will be problem based on the group plus prefix sum, right? What I told you, if you want to find the pattern, how will you find this pattern? This pattern recognition is very important, because if you see we found that there is a same value they are talking about, right? If the same value is given, if they are talking about the distance, right, or the differences, or the mismatches, right, and also sum of absolute value, that if they will talk about, right, then just you have to think about that this problem is based on the group and the prefix sum, right? That's what we will see in the problem also statement. Let me show you here. So the question saying that let me repeat it again. The question saying that we have given array, right, and there exists an array of length, we can say that means from this array we can create another array. So this array is nums, right, but we have to create another array, we can say that, right, whose length is same. It is saying if you can find the distance, right, you can find the distance, right, like this. It means we found that one is at 0 and at 2 and at 3. So when I is at 0, we can say that nums at 0, nums at 2 is, and nums at 0 and nums at 3 is same. So we can find the distance and we can put it here. If the value doesn't match like this, I equal to 1, we found that there is no other element that contains 3, so we'll put the value zeros, right? In that case, we will apply the thing as we understood till now. We also understand how to recognize the pattern. Let me show you the very first thing that I told you that we will create the map, right? So we'll create the map and we'll group by the indices. To group by the indices, you will put map dot compute if absent, and you will add the value, and then you will add its indices. So each map contains, let's suppose the one contains at 0, 1, 2. So when you call map.get, right, you can get a list of values, right? And for that you need to do is map.compute nums at I, and the values will be multiple here as a list, right? Very first you will create the array list and you will keep adding all the indices. Means we want to do the grouping with the value and the list of indices. Understand? Let's go ahead and understand further. Now once you create the group, let me zoom a little bit. Okay guys, yeah. So once you made the group, right, you know that these are the list of values you have on the map, right? So for each list you are processing the what do you call the values, right? So values, you only want the values, not the key, right? So you will get the list at each index list, we can say that, right, for the values. Then what you need to do, you have to find the size, each size. Then you will create for each group, because we are processing each group. So let's suppose the very first group comes where we have 0, 2 and 0, 2 and 3, right? At that time we got the size, let's suppose it's 3. It means what we need to do is we will create a separate prefix for the each group, right? So very first we will initialize the group prefix, and we will define the size. Then we'll say okay, create the prefix. You will create the prefix like that. Very first prefix at 0 will be the default value, list.get, the first value will say that, and then we'll process I to the size, and we can find the prefix I minus 1 plus list.get I, whatever the value will have the current value, and the prefix value will add, and will create the prefix at I. I know that you know the prefix sum, right? So you will create the prefix sum for each group. Now what you need to do is you will process again, you will get the values, and let's suppose call I0 to the size, list dot get I will say, you will get the index, guys, right? Index, right? And when you say list dot get, you will get some index value, that is called your index, and you have to find the left contribution and right contribution, because you have to divide that, right? So you have to divide that, and you will say that okay, the left contribution you can find by index into I, the index that we are talking about, we found the index, and that index you will multiply into I, and you will find the left contribution, right? So how will you find the left contribution? Prefix at I minus 1. If I is greater than 0, you will find the prefix at I minus 1. That is your left contribution. If it is greater than 0, we'll put the 0 values. Okay, similarly we will do for the right contributions. We will find the right. You will say prefix size minus 1, that is your right, minus prefix at I, right? And then minus, you will do the index I into size minus I minus 1 that we have already discussed, and then you will create the result, right? You can find the resultant. So you just need to do what? Left plus right, and that is your distance. You will store at the resultant index or array index, we can say that. Okay, and finally you will return the array. That's all I have in this video, guys. In case you are struggling with anything, please let me know in the comment section. I will definitely help you there, right? And give us a thumbs up and like of this video so everybody can understand the importance of this video that we have discussed today. Okay, let me recap again for you. So what we have done, guys, let me zoom out. Okay, so very first we will create a map, right, where map will contains the key and the values. So the value key is a value here, and value is a list of indices, right? So we'll group into the indices like this, then we'll process each group. For each group we'll get the prefix, and we will segregate into left contribution, right contribution. Then we'll do the sum, and because we want in O of n, right, that is why we have choose this left contribution, right contribution we have done with the prefix sum. And then once you do the sum, right, you will return the resultant. So that's all in this video, guys. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe this channel, and if you're expert, you are new at ExpertFunda, please subscribe this channel. And if you are struggling with DSA preparation, you can join my online classes, and for that you need to inquiry on my WhatsApp channel. Thank you so much.